The small seaside town had always been a place where everyone knew everyone's business, and nothing stayed secret for long. That was why the whispers started almost immediately when Mrs. Eleanor Bates, a 72-year-old widow known for her elegant dresses and gentle manners, was spotted walking hand in hand with a man who looked no older than 30. The man's name was Daniel. He had recently moved into town, renting a small flat above the bakery. The first time Eleanor saw him, he was standing outside in the rain, trying to fix a bicycle chain that had snapped. She had been on her way back from the market, her wicker basket full of fresh bread and apples, when she stopped to ask if he needed help. He laughed softly and said, "I'm the one who's supposed to be helping ladies like you, not the other way around." But his smile was warm, and his eyes were kind. From that day on, they began to bump into each other often, at the grocer's, by the pier, or in the library where Eleanor volunteered. Sometimes, they'd stop for coffee. Daniel, who had no family nearby, seemed to enjoy her company. Eleanor, who had spent many years in quiet loneliness after her husband's passing, found herself looking forward to their conversations. One rainy afternoon, she invited him to her home for tea. He admired her small garden, the photographs on her walls, and the way her house felt like a living memory of love and life. As they talked, Eleanor noticed something rare about him. He listened. He didn't glance at his phone or hurry to speak over her. He genuinely wanted to hear her stories. The friendship deepened. Soon, they were taking long walks by the shore, eating ice cream cones in the summer sun, and laughing about the disapproving looks some townspeople gave them. Daniel didn't care about the gossip. "People will always talk," he told her one evening as they watched the sunset. "Let them, we know the truth." But Eleanor worried, not for herself, but for him. She feared the whispers would harm his reputation, that people would think he was using her for money or some other gain. One night, she tried to end things gently. "Daniel, you're so young. You have your whole life ahead of you." "I'm an old woman," he interrupted with a shake of his head. "Eleanor, you're not just an old woman. You're the most alive person I've ever met. You make me feel like life isn't just something to get through, it's something to live. I don't care about your age. I care about you." His words broke through the wall she had built around her heart. They stayed together, not because it was easy, but because it was real. Daniel found work at the marina, repairing fishing boats, and every afternoon he would stop by Eleanor's house for dinner. They talked about everything: music, history, the future. In time, the gossip began to fade. Some of the neighbors, after seeing the way Daniel carried Eleanor's groceries or fixed the squeaky gate in her garden, began to understand. There was no trick, no hidden agenda. There was simply love, in its purest and most unexpected form. One summer evening, at the annual town festival, they danced together under strings of twinkling lights. Eleanor wore a blue dress that matched her eyes, and Daniel kept his arm around her waist as if she were the most precious thing in the world. People watched, some still surprised, others quietly smiling. When the music ended, Daniel leaned close and whispered, "You've given me more than I ever imagined, more than youth, more than excitement. You've given me a reason to belong somewhere." Eleanor felt her throat tighten with emotion. She had thought her best years were long behind her, but here, in the arms of a man half her age, she realized that love didn't keep a calendar. As the night drew to a close, they walked home slowly, the festival lights fading behind them. The waves lapped gently against the shore, and the air smelled of salt and promise. For the first time in many years, Eleanor felt no need to look back. Her heart was too full looking forward. They knew their time together would always be met with curious eyes, but it didn't matter. In a world where so many relationships were built on convenience or fear, theirs was built on something rare: honesty, joy, and the courage to care when everyone else thought you shouldn't. In that little seaside town, the story of the old woman and her young boyfriend became something else entirely, not a scandal, but a quiet testament to the fact that love, when it's real, belongs to no one's timeline but its own.